everyone, I'm standing on the middle of a racetrack, and all we have here is a D-Max safety car, full race spec D-Max, and you can see a long straight, a bridge down there, and then you can see people and paddock tents. But this is the direction we want to be looking at. I am here, Uttaradit Toyo Tires Explorar Racing Car Thailand Festival #1. This is the first street race in Uttaradit, the first street race by the Toyo series, and it is mental. The first problem is it's crazy hot. But right now, I'm at the opening ceremony. We've got a lot of photographers, and then we've got all the VIPs and the dignitaries. So I'm going to kind of keep out of the way. Anyway, this is a brand new street race, and it's absolutely epic. And I'm just going to very quickly show you a trophy that you have never seen before. This is a trophy I have never seen in Thai motorsport, Uttaradit Street Race. Famous statue from the town, and it's literally here. I'll show you that in a minute. You can see all these trophies, and all these guys in the paddock, they want to win this weekend. So the first thing I'm going to say is it is absolutely epic. The atmosphere, the vibe, the buzz, everything going on here is fantastic. The first race in Uttaradit is amazing. So the first thing I'm going to say in this video is this is definitely not going to be a one-off. For sure this will be back. Right, I'm just going to show you all the VIPs there, and then I'm going to skip my way around, and you can see everyone hiding from the heat. Get out of their way because you don't want to watch dignitaries talking away. Anyway, we have lady racing drivers here, and we have a grid full of trucks. And the statue, I told you before, it is right here. That's the one on the trophy. And in fact, I can never come over here because it's so hard to get out the infield in the day. We'll just have a very quick look at this. So in this video, I'm just going to show you the atmosphere, the sounds, the sights, what's going on here, what's making this absolutely epic. Any of the people of Uttaradit have turned out in thousands for this event. The atmosphere is fantastic. The girls are fantastic. This is the basic club series in Thailand, the first level on the ladder to go racing. And it's epic because you just get all sorts of cars. All the sorts of cars, if you watch my channel, they connect with you. So I'm just going to show you the atmosphere. I'm not going to tell you the results. I'm not going to tell you race reports, any stuff like that. I'm just going to hit you with the atmosphere. So let's crack into it. So it's time to go and take you and show you some of the cars in the paddock, because there's some absolutely amazing stuff here, and always I keep heading past these girls. These are definitely the #1s here. And here we have Steve's dogs. There's a few 190Es here, but this one is really worth a look because this is modified to the extreme. And we start on the back end with this huge rear wing. This has got swan neck mounts, and it's got conventional mounts coming down vertically. So this is not going to fall off. And then you can see the heat protection around here, because this now is tuned for pop bag. And we look around, this whole car is composite. It's got air intakes here, air intakes there, and you can see it is swapped out. It's got 2 coolers, one vertical, one horizontal, big turbo here. Everything is custom built on this car. There's a lot of E36s in the paddock, and one of the things that surprised me actually the most, having not been to Toyo for a few years, is how many E36s are running. Obviously they're all swapped out, but I want to look at these two here. First of all, this one, because it is running in an absolute classic racing livery. And then we look here on the back, it's got the biggest gurney flap you could ever imagine meeting. And then this one, this tops the prize for aero overload. Just look at this twin plane rear wing. This is absolutely as big as you're going to see this weekend. And here we have a very familiar guy working on the craziest E36 in the paddock, and all this adjustment, all this work, this has been done really nice. You can see extra supports there, huge diffuser, big single exit. Man, the aero on this is unbelievable. And we look around the front, they're actually just doing the measuring, so I'll stand back a little bit, but look at that. You can see the turbo very handily cut out here. Composite bonnet, air exits absolutely everywhere, double die planes that must be like 5 centimeters sticking out. And I got one more thing to add, because this guy here has built this car in the last 18 days. That is unbelievable. Man, this is a legend without sleep. Racing is all about those last tenths, those last hundreds, chasing power, chasing lightweight, chasing performance. Anyway, this 350Z with a lady driver here, it's got an Natasha wrap, but it's got some interesting details. I think they're looking to squeeze the max out, because in the back, we've got the Kenwoods. This A31 with a really big rear wing. It's a very nice car. I like this. It's got a new wrap on it, which I really like as well. And this is a full race build. Now, I came past on Thursday, it had an engine in it. I came past on Friday, it had no engine in it. I've come past on Saturday morning, and it's got a different engine in it. That's what race week is all about. And to be honest, Chris, the driver of this, that's kind of what his race weekends are usually like. When I've been saying there's a lot of diverse stuff races in this series, we have a Nissan NV pickup. We don't see these built to race very often, and this is really nice. So we need to have a quick look around it. And I kind of like this front end spoiler with this wrap on it with all these handprints, kind of very Sonkan style. He's got LED lights. He's cut open the indicator here to put his air intake. He's got another air scoop on the bonnet. But then if we go around the back, what I really like, the aero cover on the back deck. Man, you can sit on here and play games if you're bored or in the evening. Got kind of these really nice turquoise wheels, and on the back end he's got this custom rear wing really low down, almost kind of drag style, very nicely done. This car is really, really nice, and you can see he's actually cut the lower valance and a straight through exhaust pipe is coming out there. Probably my favorite solution of the weekend is on this Corolla. You can see it's in a pretty cool green color. I always like green cars, but you look at the bonnet here, and he has just cut the original steel bonnet so we can fit the radiator, the turbo, the exhaust exit, the pipes, everything. This car's actually got a few details we need to look at. On the side here, he's got a perspex window. He's got two carbon fiber air intakes, getting the cold air into the car. And we come round the back, they've got a big rear wing, and here we've got a fan, and that is sucking air. And you can actually see his big cooling pipe right up to the driver there. I'm not sure whether it works or not, but certainly visually, all the innovations he's got on this car look epic. This EG is really nice with the whited out lights, and I kind of like this wrap here, these colours hanging down. Carbon fibre tailgate, carbon fibre rear spoiler, and a carbon fibre roof by Rabbit Garage. Carbon fibre bonnet, and this is a really, really neat car. When I saw this at first, I thought this is a street build, but it's actually a full race car. Now, when I saw it yesterday, it's making a lot of noise. Today, the engine is completely gone, and we have a lot of guys here and two engines going on. So clearly, they have big issues, and this is Saturday lunchtime, and they are against the clock. I always like to stop on the A31s in the paddock and check out what's going on. I mean, one reason, as soon as I've got space for another car, I want to buy one and build one. But right at the moment, I need space. Anyway, we'll have a look at this one. And this one is absolutely amazing. It's got a gigantic rear wing on it. And you can see those swan neck mounts. Mounts beautifully done. It's got a spoiler at the top of the roof. And then this wide body is beautifully integrated. All these sponsor decals are very, very loud, and I can't quite see exactly what's going on, but that is really, really nice. And you can see all the bumpers been deleted, and he's got clips here, so clearly he can drop the back end away modular. And then we'll look around the side. Man, very, very nicely done. Bride seats, Momo wheel, everything beautifully done in there. Composite bonnet, but round the front, clearly they've got a bit of work to do here. The radiator's out, the cooler's out. The bumper looks like it's had a hit, so they have got a bit of work to do on this car. And in fact, it looks like it may have taken a bit of a knock here, or maybe that is just battle wounds. Anyway, that is a very nice car. Nice to stop by and check that out. And right from the A31, we've got another E36, and this one, which I'm looking at on Saturday afternoon, it still looks in beautiful condition. So somehow these boys have avoided the walls. That is really nicely done, really quality build. You can see the fairing over the lights and the grille, and how big that front splitter is, man. Keeping that mint on a street race is pretty good going. This is a very nice car. You can see it's all composite again, wide body, and a lot of aero going on here. And at the back end, man, this is a very nice car, and another car with a huge rear wing on it. But it's a bit tight for space in here, so I can't quite get round the back end. Anyway, that is still in beautiful condition. And the guys are going to let me have a look inside and see what is going on. And for sure, this will not have a BMW engine. And in fact, it is another car with a Toyota engine and a really big turbo unit. All beautifully done, all cut away. So this is a drift machine as well. So I've actually got one more thing to look at here as well. We're going to look in the back end of this car. I'm not sure what to expect. And that is beautifully done. This is definitely a car that goes sideways as well as in a straight line. All the rear end is cut out. We've got the tank sitting here on a frame. We've got the pipes, the auxiliary tank, strut race. Man, that is pure built to race. There's not much E36 left on this car. And here we have a KE70 that has obviously had a very hard life, and it is going on a tow. But man, look at the angle of those wheels. That is absolutely amazing. This is another drift machine. We had that drift E36. This is also designed to go sideways as well. This has had a pretty hard life, and it is getting towed somewhere. It really doesn't look like a go on its own power anymore. So we'll walk around the other side. These guys try not to get right in their way. And in fact, this end of the garages, there's been a pretty hard time on the streets going on here. That is battered. Guys are working on a new radiator here, which has a bit of an angle on it as well, which I don't think is stock. Sadi Cab, good to see you guys. And this KE70, man, what can you say? I absolutely love it. This car has had a long, hard life. We can see the exhaust exit there. Man, this has been racing for many, many years, but I absolutely love it. And you can see the mud from last night's rain, but wow, that has had a tough life. Now we have the smallest race on the program, Daihatsus. You don't see a big grid full of Daihatsu Miras and other K cars many places in the world, but in Thailand you do, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 16 cars here. Daihatsu Miras, Copans, all that sort of thing. Man, it's unbelievable, and kind of these really connect. There's a real passion, a real scene for Miras here. So it's time to show you the big grid. I'm on the start, the girls are walking past, we've got this really cool Isuzu D-Max safety car, we've got some very familiar people driving it. Anyway, let's have a look and see the big beasts of this series. And we start right here with the Be Quick car, which is on pole position. And here we got Boo, a superstar GT4 driver from TSS. Anyway, this is a Cayman GT4 RS Club Sport, and this is the fastest car on the track this weekend with a 1 minute dead over this 2.2 kilometer circuit. The first race, Adisak won, and here we have Reef, superstar race engineer from Absolute. And then next to it, we have an EG and an EK, and these two cars are incredibly fast. Now, I looked at the lap times, I haven't looked under these two cars, but these are really, really quick. And then we have a Yaris, a GR Yaris with one of the famous long-time drivers in Thai motorsport. And this is absolutely the work. And this is exactly the right car to have on this track. And look at the size of the cooler unit he's got here. He's brought a full air conditioning system onto the grid. That is absolutely epic. Then we go up and we've got a Brio, and clearly that Brio is not stock to be at this point on the grid. Then we have the first Evo, and man, that looks like it's been in the wars a little bit this weekend, but it's really cool to see the Evos still racing here. Then we have another Evo, and that looks pretty clean, pretty nice. And you can see the exhaust exit is coming right in front of the wheels. We can look inside here a little bit, and this carbon bonnet's all opened up. Here we have a very hard-working photographer. Then we have this Boxer Civic, which is really, really quick. And I just need to quickly point out this lady here, because this lady does not look like she should be in Uttaradit. She looks like she should be on the catwalk in Paris or Milan or something like that. There's the tallest lady on the grid. Anyway, look at this back wing, man, and these mounts here. There's a lot going on there, but we need to keep going. We've got another Evo there, and then we've got my favorite car on the grid, this A31, which is as absolute rough and ready and everything. And Kuntong is a legend on the A31 scene. We talked about this already. Love that completely. Now we're getting a little bit rougher as we go down the grid, to be honest. Here we've got an EG that looks like it's had a pretty hard life. Then we've got a City here. Still looks pretty good here. Then we've got this M3 Coupe, and I really, really love this car. These big forged carbon die plates, all that body, all that composite work going on. That is a very nice car. Then we've got a Yaris down here. And we're getting up to the back end, and we've got this E36, which I absolutely love. This is completely crazy, completely epic, and this guy built it in 18 days, and he needs sleep after this weekend. That looks absolutely amazing. And then on the end here, we've got another E36, and this has got a complete composite front end. All the headlights have been deleted, everything gone, and you can actually see the turbo coming through here. So that's a look at the grid. We've now got the board come out, and you've got to vacate the grid. So you've got a real mix of stuff. And the thing I like here is every one of these cars connects with the fans. This guy will be listening to his tunes on the way. And here is one of the old Be Quick drivers. Hey, Azzy man. And here is the man who built the crazy Hilux Champ truck that I've done a couple of videos on. So let me give you an idea of the layout of this place. It's a big rectangular infield. The whole track is basically a big rectangle. Now one half is the paddock, and the other half behind here is a public park. So we've done the paddock, but right in the middle we have this giant basketball court. You can see it is absolutely huge, and it is absolutely full of people. And you come in here to hang out, you come in here to get out the heat, and you can watch the action going on the big screen. Man, and it is really busy, and all the sponsors' booths are here. We've got Toyo here, Isuzu here, and then we've got a lot of trade sponsors. You can see Petronas, Akana Carbon down there, and there's a lot of VIPs around, so you need to kind of keep out of the way. But anyway, this is pretty cool. You can watch the screen, you can hang out in here, and you can see there are a lot of trophies going down this weekend. Right here we have the organizer's office, so everyone comes here, sorts out problems, get accreditation, all that kind of thing. I say we've got Akana, we've got Duckums, we've got some people selling motorbikes, we've got a coffee shop that I have been frequenting. Here we have a racing driver who hasn't even noticed me, and then we've got more suppliers, more booths along here, and we have girls here in a really bright green outfit. So that's basically where you come and hang out, and you get out of the heat, and surprisingly, it is pretty cool in here. It's actually not bad at all. So we've got Duckums here, and here we've got Akana Carbon. Now this is absolutely top level carbon, and these Weld Racing wheels, American wheels, is super popular with drag drivers. This stuff is absolutely grade A. And they also have merchandise as well. And that is crazy, crazy light. Anyway, we get out the back, and we have a public park, and you can see the racetrack right here, the racetrack just on the other side there, and we have a big lake, bandstand, places to hang out, a lot of trees and cover, and you can see a playground and lots more booze and food booths there. It's pretty nice and peaceful. I've actually come out here in the lunch break, so there's no cars coming past for me to put in the picture, but it is super nice and peaceful. The only problem is up there is the sun, and it is super, super hot. So I'm going back in there. So we've got all the activities on this side. Here we've got another court, but this side we've got all the medical stuff, all the safety people, all the emergency services are lined up, and they are well equipped and they are ready to serve absolutely everything that goes down. You can see the beds here. You can see staff absolutely everywhere. This is really well covered, and it's not just going to be crashes on the racetrack. The heat is incredible. Even for Uttaradit, the heat is off the scale. So they're going to be serving some of the fans and spectators who come, getting them back on their feet when the heat proves too much. So finally, I have arrived. I can give my feet a rest around the paddock because no other than Boo has arrived in the paddock, and he has wheeled. Don't know where we're going, but we're getting a breeze here. This is the way to do it. So the lesson I am learning from this weekend is I need to hang out with this guy more often because he does everything in complete style. And I should also point out while I'm here, Mr. Tong has the longest tie wraps on the grid. Now I'm not sure whether they're tie wraps or some sort of sophisticated movable aero device, whether Adrian Newey is doing some moonlighting here, but in Toyo he's likely to get away with this. In Formula One he'd probably get disqualified. This Corolla is really interesting because it's 11. Let me spin you around and you look in on the badge, and it's the winner. It won its race, and that is a really beautiful build, quite an unusual build, and you can see all the custom splitter on the front there, big gaping mouth there. This is quite a beautifully done car. I really like this. It went past me, I saw the back lights and I was thinking, hang on, that is not a normal Corolla. So look out for this guy, look out for this car, because this car is very unique. Right next door to that really nice 11 build, we have another Corolla here, and I like this. I've seen this a few times before. It's got a really nice build, and I like all this matte black and the black of the plastic here, and you can see the big intercooler in the front, carbon bonnet. It's very street race style. We'll have a look inside and see what is going on. And that is a very nice, clean build. I like that a lot. They've got the custom fuel tank here, which is quite unusual in its shape. It's pretty big. Got the pipes, got the filters, strut braces. Everything on that is really, really nicely done. They've got the radiator tucked in here, and quite interesting headers as well, and the turbo underneath there. So this is turbocharged. This has got a fair bit of power. Man, I just break 1 second because that livery is absolutely epic. Spider's web livery. Anyway, that is very, very nice. Okay, while we're on Corollas, I've got one more to show you, because this has also won its race. So clearly these cars are quite good on track, and I like this air inlet here. That's quite different, quite interesting. So here's another driver to look out for. So we've got a lot of Corollas going here, and this one looks like it's just come out of the showroom. So clearly he hasn't been involved in the wars. And talking of the wars, this EK looks like it's had a decent life behind it. We better mention the Monster RX-7. This is the crazy build that Conutane used to drive for a few years. Now it's moved on to a guy called Steve, who's been on my videos a few times. He's up there. This is the Ultimate Racing RX-7, and this has also been in the wars this weekend. Right at the start, it had a fairly big impact, and if I can pull this sheet up, you can see how that rear end has got a lot of duct tape on it. I take you around the other side. Well, either that is very sophisticated aero or unintentional. Anyway, it looks, if I can squeeze back around, like it's actually worked out not too bad, because it's got a couple of trophies on the roof here from race one. Steve is over there, just back from walking his dogs. I showed you this NV earlier on, but I've come back and the driver has actually opened a flap in this crazy game board, and this is how he fuels it. I'm just going to stick the camera down there and show you. Truck racing is super popular in Thailand. I'm always telling you that on my videos. They make up half the market, or they used to make up half the market. It's gone down a little bit with all the EV stuff going on. But all I can tell you really is they're completely mental, they're completely crazy, and they're just totally, it's like an arms race going on. You look at this truck here on pole, and it is a full carbon body. All that aero, everything is all carbon, and it's all Akana carbon, which is expensive, let me tell you that as well. Basically at the top end of racing in Thailand, you got GT3, you got GT4, and these are pretty much turnkey cars. They're regulated. You can't do anything to them. The idea is it's about driver skill. In truck racing, it's about driver skill and developing trucks. And really, when it comes to developing trucks, you're developing a thing, ladder on frame, leaf suspension. They were not designed to go around corners fast, or even going straight lines fast. So, you're fighting a war to develop a brick into a race car. And it can be done because these trucks are absolutely incredible. And the other thing I'll say about these guys, you see the TSS sticker here? They race week in, week out. If there's a race going, they will be there. And I just mentioned the girls as well here. It's the full hit with the truck package. As I've been saying all the way through my video, this is more than just a race event. This is a big bonanza, a big entertainment for the fans. And you look, I am standing in the middle of hundreds of tables, and behind me there is a big stage, and you can see they are setting up for the band, for music, for entertainment, for activity to go on. But I've come down here now because I'm not going to be able to say anything once that goes off, because Thai people do one volume and that is super loud. So now I'm off to make some super important content. Content that's going to keep people watching and get me the view time up. So riding with Mike here, this is one of the most famous photographers in Thailand. There is no circuit race you can go to in Thailand and he won't be there. Every single one. I'm not sure that's a good record. It's not a record I want to try and break. But anyway, he's taking me up to make some important content. There we have the race, and here we have a Thai game that you are not going to believe at all. This is incredible. You buy a bucket of tennis balls, you have to throw it at that handle, and then this girl gets dumped in the water. And there is no one here at all yet, so it looks like I'm going to have to show you how this game is played. This has just cost me 50 baht. I have got 5 balls here, and I would throw them at this lady, and I have to hit that red handle there. If that red handle swings back, she falls off the chair into a bucket of water. I mean, that is a bit of a cruel game, to be honest. I've only bought these just to show you because I don't want to do this at all. This girl, she's going to fall in this water many times tonight. So you're always looking for vantage points at a racetrack. And this pile of bricks looks ready-made to create a good vantage point. So let me climb up here. And here I have a really good racetrack. And you can actually see over here on the other side, all the way along, the crowds are gathering up. This A31 might look a little bit rough and ready, but this is tuned to the edge, and you can see the guys here are tuning away on this car. Man, this is a serious hardcore race build, and this has had a pretty long life, but they're looking for the win, and they need everything, every dot done. They've got the smallest bike in the paddock. There's a lot of work going on in the paddock, and you can see the water there, the radiator missing. You can see there's a radiator swap going on here. And this is what I kind of love. The crowds are coming down here, and these guys are hard at work. I also want to mention E36s, and this one in this kind of shocking purple with this real wide body on it is a great place to start. I haven't been to Toyo for a few years, and what has actually surprised me is how many E36s there are racing. Obviously this has got a Japanese swapped engine in it and a big turbo, but the E36 is proving really popular. And this car, I actually saw it earlier on. And you look at the paint finish on that, I don't know how you call it, but the whole car has been done in this paint finish. That is absolutely epic. And it's got a whole custom paint job on it. And it's got an alligator there. That is absolutely amazing. And this looks like his Facebook page. If you watch my previous 2 videos from this event, I showed you Thursday night, I showed you Friday night. I wanted to show you Saturday night, but I cannot. It has just gone so mental here. I cannot get through, but I cannot find the drivers, cannot find the cars. I cannot make content tonight. It's completely and utterly blown totally out of the water here. It's absolutely amazing. You just look, all the people around all the cars. Uttaradit has gone crazy on Saturday night. It's gone absolutely mental. So I'm just going to do a really short one. The last couple of days I've made 15 minutes. Always seem to come past these amazing girls, and this, the tallest girl in the north of Thailand.
My name is Wan. I from Bangkok.
Over 170, absolutely amazing. I've said it before, this girl should be in London or Paris on the catwalk, not in Uttaradit. I am absolutely blown away by what is going on. And we carry on down here and you just see the sea of people. It's absolutely amazing. Even up in the north of Thailand, 500 k's north of Bangkok, I find Ayrton Senna's helmet. This is one of the icons of global motorsport, and it never gets old, it never fades. It's absolutely crazy here. You just see people walking all the way around everywhere, and the man responsible for disrupting Uttaradit on a Saturday night is this guy here. This is the man who's woken up this city. So to get in the circuit, first of all, I need to park my car in the car park over here, cross this road, hop over this railing made out of a rail, and I'll show you why in 1 second, and then kind of step my way gingerly down this bank and across this rather rough looking bridge, and you can see the water in there, and then up and across a railway, and this is a live railway as well. Trains come up and down here and then must wait here until the sessions finish. Kind of step through all this grass and hope there's nothing down there that's going to bite me. So now I need to sit down here and hide from the sunlight until the session finishes and I can cross over. But the people here are super nice, and this lady right here just give me a bottle of water, and the people in Uttaradit, I've got to say, are super nice. Everyone I've met, super friendly. So that is another reason for coming here. They have really welcomed the series. They really welcome everyone. So it's quite a cool experience. When I just said the staff here are super nice, this lady here just gives me water when I come past. This guy here gives me a seat to sit in. So I don't have to sit on the floor out of the shade waiting for the track to open. I can sit back in this seat, relaxing. That is absolutely epic. As I said before, the people of Uttaradit, they're absolutely super nice, and it's a super hot day, man, and that sun is absolutely burning. And then when the session finishes, there is an absolute free-for-all. You've got to climb over the fence and nip across the track.
Hi, I'm Jack. Of course, I just drove the track and I raced here. Finished second and third or something. But yeah, it's great. It's a new track up north. It's the first time here in Uttaradit. And I think it's great. Great for the city. And the track's really fun to drive. People say it's quite bumpy and hard to drive, but bumpy it is. It's the first time here, but I don't think it's that hard to drive. It's just the drivers needs to be briefed more on safety and yellow flags and stuff like that. But other than that, it's I think it's great to have a new street circuit, a new track around, because we have Bira and Buriram that gets pretty boring, Bangsan only once a year. So the more street circuits, the more new circuits, the better. I mean, it's just good for the town, good for the people, and it's just really more fun. But yeah, anyways, I really hope they do this more.
Here's another really nice road car in the paddock. This RX-8, you can see it's got a carbon fibre bonnet and a complete composite front end. All the aero, all the intakes going on, and a lot of nice details. It's running on 19-inch Advan Racing wheels, 245/35 tyres. Man, that is a works. And see, big air exit here, carbon mirrors, big carbon rear wing, and twin exits on the back. That is a very nice car, and aftermarket taillights as well. Here is a rather nice Mark 1 Golf, and you can see from the side skirts here and those wheel arches, that is running really, really wide. It's got cutouts here, drop the air out, and you can see it's got a big splitter on the front, but under the bonnet, this is K-swap. Sometimes it goes all wrong, and this E36 here has had a huge right-hand front impact. You can see the coolers are all reshaped, and it's covered in fire extinguishers because it must have had a fire after the crash. That is a big, big repair job. In Thai motorsport, we are never far from Itasha style. So I got one more car to show you. Not this Civic with a load of trophies, not this Hilux looking pretty cool in Pirelli livery, and not this amazing A31 R34 face-off with kind of RE Amamiya lower spoiler on it. No, I want to show you this because I am absolutely not sure what this is. And it looks like it's a pretty serious bit of kit. The engine is hanging in front of the front wheels. It's kind of like the opposite to a Porsche, where with a Porsche they put the engine off the back wheels. This is actually hanging out the front. It's got a lightweight wooden body, but the big problem, I think, he's got a generator in the back. That is serious weight, and I'm just wondering where the organisers have ballasted this, because this is a local machine, local knowledge on this track, local building of race cars that we don't know about, and maybe this thing is like a rocket and they want to slow it down. Anyway, I have no idea what category this is going in, or whether it's going to be racing against the Mutant R34 or in with the trucks. Anyway, let's see. These cars are worth a look. We've got two Fiestas here and we've got a Yaris Racer here. But what I want to show you on the end is this Focus, because this is pretty special. It's driven by Kun Boy, who's one of the most experienced and successful drivers in Thai motorsport. And it is absolutely amazing. And I think since I saw it last, it's got a much wider body on it. You can see it's got a huge splitter on it and all this aero and this really wide body and these air exits here. That feels really TCR style. And again, on the back end, you can see it is built out for a much wider track. It's got a wing on the back, swan neck mounts, and it's picked up a trophy as well. So this is an absolute monster of a Focus. We've got a really cool livery here. This driver has done his whole EG in a spider's web. You can see the web all the way around, the whole wrap. We've got a big spider on the roof, spider's web right onto the roof spoiler, right up the B-pillars. And you can look around the front, you can see we've got a big spider on the bonnet. He's painted his headlights red. Man, that is really, really cool. The whole thing is one giant spider's web. Even the door mirrors have been done in the theme. We looked at this A31 earlier in my video, and I caught up with Chris before, and he told me that they blew the engine. They found an engine for 20 grand in a scrapyard. He got someone to drive it up for him overnight, put the engine in, and away he went. And that kind of worked pretty well because he's picked up a stack of trophies. So you never give up, and to be honest with Chris, he's always having never give up situations. I haven't really talked about the circuit, there's not a lot to say. I mean, here we're starting off on the back straight. We've got a chicane halfway up the back straight because the back straight then extends into a couple of 100 meters of a spur that goes up to a U-turn, and you can see here the cars are going to the U-turn, they double back on themselves, and then they're going to hang a left and back onto the main circuit, which is basically a long rectangle. And here we've got a great view, an aerial shot. And now they're back onto the main circuit. So you've got 2 long straights, 2 short straights, and now they're turning a right onto the main straight. You can see the main straight, the grid, the starting gantry and everything. And these cars are on their final lap now. It's a long, fast straight, right down to a right-hander, a short straight, and then another right-hander, almost like a double apex here, to be honest. And then back onto the back straight where we started off. Track doesn't look that interesting, but it actually is quite demanding. It's surprisingly wide, and there are passing opportunities. Difficult on a street circuit, but here you can make it work, you can make it stick. So I showed you the top end grid. I want to show you a real club grid, and I want to start right here with this lady, Toyo tires, the sponsors. I want to show you a rock solid club grid. And right on pole position, we have a Mini, which I've featured in this week's videos before. And look at the amount of support this guy has got. He has got a ton of support. He's got Pretty Girls Man, and he's on pole position. That is absolutely amazing. He's actually not on pole position, he's on P2. This EG with a light missing, he's on pole. Then on P3, we've got a Brio. And we've got a friend of mine who was down here the other day. He went up north to Chiang Mai, and now he's back down here again. Then we've got an E36, and you'll notice some of these cars, they race in lots of races, and that's one of the cool things about this event. You can race in different classes with different drivers. Here we've got what I showed you before, the spider's web livery on the EG. Then we've got an FD here, we've got an EG here, and I really need to come and talk to this lady, but she's getting her photo taken. But she looks like the superstar on the grid. This Vios, we have 4 girls here. Absolutely amazing. And now we have an A31, and this I absolutely love. I love A31s. They always look like they're street ready to fight. Lampang Drift Team, man, this is a drift machine. I saw this in the paddock the other day, and it is absolutely epic. The size of that rear wing, those swan neck mounts, I absolutely love this. Then we've got an EG, we've got another EG, a duck in between people. We've got another EG and 3 girls as well. Man, absolutely amazing. And another EG as well. And this guy has got the Hulk on the side. So maybe this guy is going to have extra power from that. Another EG and another EG. Man, this is a thing in Thai motorsport. Why I want to show you this grid is just EG after EG. And here we have another one. Thais absolutely love to race the EG. And then we've got an Evo, which we've seen before, and you can actually see the numbers and how they're crossed out because they race in 2 different classes. And finally, on the back end, man, we've got something absolutely epic. This A31 R34 face off, and it looks absolutely beautiful, and it really doesn't look like it's had any damage all weekend. Man, green wheels, and actually the colour in there, these are work in motion wheels, and the colours in there, absolutely amazing. This, it's kind of race car stroke artwork. Absolutely love that. Custom made rear wing, and you can see this is a drift car as well. And he's off to his grid position. Gonna walk down and catch him because I just want to show you the back end on this. Not this one, I mean that's looks like it's been in the wars, but I want to show you the back end on this because it's got a custom rear wing with these 3 planes, and you can see it's all opened out. This is a pure drift machine. You race anything in this series, and that's what I love. In Thailand, you have a car, you want to race, they'll fit it in. And man, look at that. That is street racing in a picture. He has been absolutely in the wars. I have no idea why, but for some reason a big box of durian has appeared in the Be Quick garage. I don't know whether Uttaradit is famous for its durian or why, but I absolutely love this stuff, and I'm going to try and sneak this off with me. So it's the final night in Uttaradit. We're at the end of my video, we're at the end of this event. It's Sunday, it's coming up to 7:30. You can see the main straight down there, just some ambulances flashing their lights. But look this side, man. The people of Uttaradit don't want to go home. They don't want this event to end. This is going to the last minute. The racing stopped a couple of hours ago. And man, it is absolutely unbelievable here. Again, like last night, I cannot make content because I cannot squeeze my way through here and talk and look at the cars and tell you what's going on. It's absolutely unbelievable. So that's it for the first Uttaradit Street Race. And for sure, this is not gonna be the last. That is absolutely for sure. For sure, next year, we'll be back here for Street Race number 2 because the people of Uttaradit have got right behind this race. The municipality, all the public services, the mayor, everyone, the police, everyone is right behind this event, wants it to work, wants to make it work, wants to push, wants to grow something, wants to do something special. And in the first one, they have done something special. They've done something that people are going to talk about for a long time. So, absolutely epic. So, big thanks to the organizer. Big thanks to Kon Adisak, the organizer of Racing Car Thailand. All his team have worked really hard. Big thanks to the municipality because they have worked really hard. Everyone has put so much effort into make this work, and it really has. And they built something that isn't going to be forgotten quickly, and it's going to be back next year. So that's it for this video. This lady is well equipped. This is what I should have brought with me. For next year's race, I'm going to be walking around with a monster-sized fan. And here is a lady who told me yesterday that I haven't seen her for 13 years.
First of my event program of circuit is a Thailand Super Series and Grand Prix League in 2013 and 14. Yes, sir. And now to continue to the Toyota Explorar Racing Car Thailand with the Perfect 10 AI Motorsport and Miku Garage. Follow me at the IG alice.chon ARIS.and CHON. Thank you. Thank you.
I got to come back to Uttaradit. That's one reason. See you next year. They have absolutely everything in Uttaradit, including dancing frogs. You just got to zoom in very quickly. This is the youngest driver on the grid. He's 14 and he races a Brio. Man, I feel old. I've already made 2 videos. I just planned to make 1 review of the whole event, but in the end I made 2 because there was just so much history being made to talk about, to record. So last night, Friday night, I'll throw straight after this video. For Thursday night, just drop down into the description. You can catch more of this event. But now, I need to be out of here. I need to go home. I've got a 500k drive back to Bangkok because we're a long way north here. So, see you next time. So it really is a final goodbye from Uttaradit. It's been absolutely amazing. Bye-bye, guys. See you all next year. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.